All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're logging in from. We thank you guys one more time for connecting to our channels. We thank you for your subscriptions. We thank you for the likes. And we thank you also for clicking onto the notification button. Just before I start, some of you may have already known me. You may have already come across my content before. This is called Cornerstone Voice. This is a brief podcast that I started. It's mostly focusing on the five values of life, or what I will call the five F's. I'm going to dive into it more and more. Some of you have watched some of our videos. We made introductions and all that. Also, before I get into it more, for some of you that may have not known me, my name is Emmanuel. I go by Prince Emma, so that's my name. So often a time when you come across this content, you will hear about Prince Emma. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the one of the five elements of the family of the five F's. This is called the family values. I made a brief video about it the other day. When you watch on our channels, you will see it. I just needed to add few more points on the family value. One of the key things that comes to my mind when it comes to family value, especially these are mostly for like married couples, very important. I've been married for some years now. We thank God, it's a blessing. We're enjoying it. One of the key most important thing that I want to point out in this video is that often a time after having been in marriage for a very long time, or after or a short period of time, it's mostly people that are in marriage for a long time, the couples starts to seems to let themselves go. All right, they start to kind of let their own values go, and they all like trying to focus on the kids. There's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing wrong about that. I'm not against kids, which I'm not supposed to. I am a child myself. My mom gave birth to me. But the whole essence that I want to point out to, in the midst of pursuing your own family values and goals, your own family potentials and accomplishments, you have to also remember your own values and potentials. So it's very important. You will say, by the way, if my family succeed, I succeed. That's correct. But also, your family would also want to see you succeed. They would not be very satisfied. They would not be very honored or celebrated to realize that you sacrificed most of your own aspirations in order for them to succeed. It might look simple, it might look not too much of a big problem, but it's important to be able to fulfill your own destiny, fulfill your own destiny, fulfill your own goals, fulfill your own accomplishments in the midst of carrying others. It will be beyond important. It will be fulfilling for yourself. It will also be fulfilling for the kids. So it's very important. Often a time, especially people with young families, they forgo their own careers, they forgo their own aspirations, they forgo their own pursuit of happiness, and they're all for the kids. It's fine. There's nothing wrong. But here is also one thing. When these kids all settle down and move on, you're gonna find that your life starts to have like a little bit of an emptiness. And by that time, it might be a little too late to try to pursue something new. Somebody will say, I'm going to go back to college when my kids are all grown. Somebody will say, I'm going to start up my business when my kids are all grown. Somebody say, I'm going to relocate when. But by this time, it's kind of a little too late. And also, you've kind of gone in with a lot of resources in. And often at time, some of our fallback plan is, my kids are going to carry me. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong. They will carry you. But it will be also fine that as you're growing, you're able to sustain your life going. It will give also a little bit more relief for your kids so that they can also pursue their own life. The whole subject of this is this. In family values, in conclusion on this topic, in family values, is beyond important to not just let your own potentials go or let your own goals and aspirations go in order to be of a service to other people to achieve theirs or to push them to a level to achieve theirs. It's fine, but do not just let yourself go on this one topic of family values slash potential. Always pursue your potential because those are the things that will inspire you. Apart from what your kids will be, your businesses, your accomplishments, your education degrees, those are the things that will inspire you in the long run. Not just what your kids become, because what your kids become is just what they are. But how about you? What gives you your own happiness? What gives you your own joy? So it's very important in family values, especially these are for couples, husband and wife, to always not let their potentials down in order to fulfill others. Pursue yours. In doing so, help others to achieve theirs. I think that's how I'll put it in conclusion. That's all. Another thing that I want to point out on these family values is when it comes to marriage, it's very, very important, and relationships. I think I wrote this topic, then I just look at my notes a little bit. Uh, I called it what is called protecting what is inside. Every home, every relationship, every marriage, every business, every corporation, they have some core values that they value, that they protect, especially in husband and wife relationships, in our family values. It's upon each other. It's upon the wife, it's upon the husband to protect what is in the inside. And nobody will say, oh, there is nothing in the inside for me to protect. Because of that, there is nothing for me to protect. Because if you say that at the first place, the storms, the wave, the turmoils that are coming to destroy whatever that is the inside for you, they saw something that they wanted to attack. They saw something that they wanted to destroy before they came for it, or before the storm, or before the challenge, or before Satan throws you some curveball. There was something there that is brewing, worth destroying before they came to it. So don't even take the assumption that there is nothing inside for me to protect. But again, I'm not here to teach marriage counseling or anything. I'm just here to make a small video about family values. Going back to this, so it comes upon us, it's upon us, the husband and the wife, to protect what is in the inside. There is no reason a husband or a wife should choose any part of their life existences at any particular time in replacement of what is in the inside, in replacement of what they have established before any of this existence. Some of us have mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, or sister-in-laws, or brother-in-laws that often throw shade on our own existing family. Or some of us don't, which is also good. But the reason I'm pointing this out, if the husband or if the wife doesn't take these things to heart, they could actually allow an outsider to destroy their marriage, to destroy their home, to destroy their relationship. And the crazy thing about it, if anybody falls victim to this, when that this vessel is shattered, when that mirror is shattered, when that glass is shattered, when that home is shattered, it will left up to you to be the one to pick up the pieces. Try to put it together. The people that fostered the momentum that led to that, they will kind of pull away from you. Could be your mother, could be your sister, could be my brother, could be a friend at work. They will pull back from you because they will say, oh yeah, I told you. Hey, I mentioned this. Yes, I talked about this. But it finally get to a point, you are allowed some forces from outside to affect what's inside you. When that happens, those people will pull away. So in this subject, I'm not going to circle around it too much. I call it protecting what is the inside. There is something inside your home. There is something inside your marriage. There is something inside your business. There is something inside your faith that worth protecting, so that you will not allow yourself or your partner or put your partner or yourself in a position whereby outside forces affect what is inside. Because if you reflect back, the 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 strength of togetherness is beyond stronger than any force you could imagine. But it will take two to strengthen that strength. If it's one, it gets loose. But if it's two, it's beyond strong. It takes two to strengthen that strength. And that's probably about it here. The next thing I want to point out, I'm just going towards my conclusion. The next thing I want to point out is what I called kids being kids. You know, these family values is always coming to me about just husband, wife, kids, and family structure as a whole. Kids being kids. It's good to have kids. It's good to raise them in an environment that is very fostering and growing. But it's also good for the parents to recognize when they are to allow the kids to exist in a role that the kids are to exist. The mom or the dad have not really too much business to like making alliance or best friend or communicating with the kids, whereby it's taking the kids out of the role of being kids. There are certain things that are expected of the kids at homes to do. There are certain behaviors that are expected of the kids to do. And when some of these behaviors are out of character, the mom and the dad have to recognize it, address them in order to direct these kids to do better. So on family value, I talked about this, kids being kids. Provide for them, nurture them, grow with them, allow them to explore and reach higher. But in doing so, remember, you're not just their BFF. You're their parents. You're there to guide them. You're there to see them explore. When they go wrong, you have to also pull back and step into your parental role, because those are the things that they need in order to thrive. If kids are in an environment whereby they have an understanding, oh, my mom is not going to do anything, or my dad, let's do this, let's do that, it's not going to be a problem, I'm going to explain it to them. That's not a very fostering environment. That's not a very fostering environment. A fostering environment is an environment that allows the kids to thrive and grow. In doing so, it causes them to deliver the best part of themselves. Because they also will be, why am I doing these things and my parents are not saying anything? So it's also very important for any family holding up to values and standards to have kids that are just going to be kids, so that they're not something that will bring dysfunctionalness between the family that they exist in and between the parents that are responsible for their functionalities. So it's beyond important for the husband and the wife to recognize the role that they have to play so that they will be able to foster these kids to be just kids. And in doing so, the kids will thrive. And that's it. And finally, just to wrap up on this topic, I looked at my one more. Focus also on yourself. This is for the mom or the dad or for the family as a whole. There are certain potentials that each of us carry. It's upon you to bring those things out. For a guy, it could be just achieving greater heights. If you're already into investment, you've achieved certain investment portfolios, you're always asking yourself, what can I do next? If you're a mom and you're into self-employment or starting a small business and you've achieved one or two or things, you ask yourself, what can I do next? Because the most important, the moment you lose focus on yourself, it kind of reflects you lose focus on your family. Because everything that you reflect today will be a reflection of your family tomorrow. If I'm to quote some family or legacies or something, if the Rockefellers did not focus on themselves about 60 years or 70 years ago when they come into existence, we won't be hearing of the Rockefellers today. So despite what goes on, despite the responsibilities we all have as parents, it's also important for each one to focus on their own pursuit of happiness. Because once you achieve those things, it's going to help you foster the happiness that you want other people to have. So it's beyond important as we grow in family values to also focus not just on delivering family resources, but also delivering potentials and growth, because these potentials and growth will actually outweigh the resources that you might expect to give today. If I might even add this, if you want sacrificing today for tomorrow's gain, I will jump on that ship. Just to let you know, because the sacrifices you make today are the gains that you're gonna enjoy tomorrow. So if you're an individual, a mom, a dad, a spouse, a wife, that let go of themselves and only focus on my family, it's fine, there's nothing wrong, but it will even be better, in addition to doing this, that you also focus on yourself. Your kids will be happy to learn that my mom got a PhD. Your kids will be happy to learn that my dad just built a new vacation home. Your kids will be happy. They will be inspired. They will see their parents doing great things. My dad started an orphanage. Your kids will be happy to see that. In the midst of you raising them and seeing to their day-to-day activity, you're still able to start an orphanage. You're still able to run a small business. You're still able to build your dream home. They'll be inspired. They don't just want to settle, oh, my dad cared for us and raised us and that was where it ends. They're like, no, my dad owns a business. My dad is into philanthropies. My dad is into empowerment. My dad is into business. My mom is educated. They want to see, and this is what I call focusing on yourself. Because when it's all said and done, when everybody moves on, what are you going to fall back on? What are the investments you're going to fall back on? What are the achievements you're going to fall back on? If you don't have these things, your life will have a lot of vacuum. Your life will have a lot of vacuum. So as I close this section, I would want to challenge you going forward. Focus on yourself, because whatever you achieve today adds to your family values of tomorrow. And in return, your family will be the beneficiary of all your achievements as we go. Thank you. And one more time, don't forget to click the like button, the subscription button, and also give us a thumbs up so that whenever we upload new content, you'll be the first to get notified. And thank you one more time for joining Cornerstone Voice. Be blessed.